done. What's up, everybody? Welcome to nolifetilmetal, and my name is Scott Waters. It's time for another edition of What's Spinning. This will be, I don't know, the third installment of What's Spinning from my car. Basically the stuff I've been spinning in my car. And I've been spinning quite a bit of stuff, and I'm running out of room in my my compartment that I keep my CDs in, so I better get one recorded, or I'm going to forget what I've been spinning. So just going to get right into this and show you what I've been spinning. What's playing in the background is the new Black Star Riders. And of course, this is the band featuring Scott Gorham from Thin Lizzy, and it's got that kind of Thin Lizzy-ish vibe with the kind of that Irish groove vibe to it. It's their second album, like I said, and I'm really enjoying it. I've only had it for a few days now, so I'm kind of new to it, but from what I've heard so far, I'm really digging on it. Ruthless, They Rise, fantastic heavy metal. Bordering on thrash metal at times, but mostly just straightforward heavy metal. Features, of course, Ruthless has been around since the 80s. LA band, kind of like more recent Hyrax or Heretic, and in fact, one of the members of Ruthless right here, that's Dave Wasson, who formerly was in Hyrax, and you can kind of hear that some of that vibe left from the the New Age of Terror Hyrax. That's the album that Dave Wasson played on. You can hear a little bit of that on here. Like I said, great album. California heavy metal, speed metal, almost thrash metal at times. Some melodic metal in 220 volt. This is Eye to Eye. Not bad. This is a band I'm kind of new to, and I've only heard this one a couple times, but kind of enjoying it. Like I said, it's melodic metal, good commercial vibe to it. Has a lot of hooks, which is exactly what you want from a commercial metal band, or commercial hard rock band, whatever you want to call it. This is the Led Zeppelin 1 2 CD remaster. Everybody's been showing the vinyl, but I picked up a CD that already have all the original vinyls. I just can't see spending $40-50 per copy to get another vinyl copy that I already have. But this one has the companion disc 2, Live at the Olympia, from Paris, France, from 1969. Really cool early recording of Zepp. Songs are really loose and sloppy, which is kind of what I liked a lot about live Zeppelin. They weren't super tight. They just had this kind of loose, raw, heavy vibe, and that's what you get to hear on this disc 2 of this album. And of course, disc 1 is a classic, and it sounds great on this CD, cranking out of my stereo system in my car. Another one I just recently received in the mail. This is a Hailstorm One and Done. It is an EP, a live EP, early live EP, and much different from what you'll hear from Hailstorm these days. This is kind of an alternative metalish kind of thing. I don't even want to say I call it maybe modern hard rock with a bit of metal vibe to it. But then I've also been listening to. And I gave this one about 5 or 6 spins now, and I really want to like this new album from them. This is called Into the Wildlife, Lizzie Hale. And like I said, I spun this one, I'm going to say 5 or 6 times now, all the way through my car. And it's kind of like I really want to like this band because everybody seems to really be into them. And I do believe and agree that Lizzie Hale has a great voice. But this album, it's kind of blah. It's got... the hard rockers just kind of have that kind of commercial Nickelback-ish kind of been played on the radio a million times kind of sound. And then there's all these ballads, and the ballads, to me, it sounds like modern pop country music. I mean, a couple of these songs, you throw a steel guitar on a song like Dear Daughter, and it would, you could play it right next to Miranda Lambert and that kind of stuff, and you would never know the difference. There's a couple other songs in here too, Bad Girls World. What Sober Couldn't Say. What Sober Couldn't Say, you could play on pop country radio now, and it would mix right in. So, yeah, this one, I'm not going to say it sucks, but disappointing album. This is not heavy metal. This is barely hard rock. This is modern pop rock, radio rock, filed with Nickelback. Like I said, kind of disappointing for me. I was kind of hoping it would be a little bit better. Metal Massacre 10. I've actually only had up till 9, and then I skipped all the way to what the last one was. I never owned Metal Massacre 10 before, so this one came in the mail, and I was surprised at how good Metal Massacre 10 is. It's full of all kinds of thrash metal stuff, and there's this one song on here, and while I'm talking, I'm going to actually do a quick spin so you can check the song out. There's a band on here, and I believe the band is called Dan. It's not even a band, it's the guy's name, Dan Colette, and it's I'm just gonna play it because it's just unusual. You know, in the 80s you had a lot of that instrumental, you know, flashy guitar solos, instrumental kind of stuff. You got that here too, but so there you go. Instead of a lead guitar player, you got a lead trumpet player. Kind of threw me off when I first heard it, but I don't know, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. But the rest of the album, it's I'll just throw another track on here. It's just just solid thrash metal, you know, the kind of stuff that gets you pushing the gas pedal down. Yeah, so Metal Massacre 10, worth picking up if you can find it. Now I'm looking for a copy on vinyl because, yeah, I'm really enjoying Metal Massacre 10 in my cars. So, next up, turn that down a little bit, it's distracting me. Next up is this is the newest album from Mortification, Realm of the Skeletor. This is supposed to be the last album from Steve Rowe and Company. He's now going to be focusing more on his other band, One Row Vision, which I also have their new CD as well, but I haven't really given that one a spin because I've been concentrating on this one. My biggest complaint, I think they chose the wrong song to start the album off with. The song, The Cost, starts the album, and it's a longer song, it's like 7.5, 8 minutes long. It's mid-paced. The lyrics are kind of cool, kind of echoes back to the song Martyrs off of Hammer of God, but it just seems like they would have been better off starting with a shorter, faster, you know, just 1-2 punch, and that's not what you have here. But you have songs on there like Extrinsic Forces, track number 3. If that would have been track number 1, it would have just grabbed you by the jugular and pulled you in for the rest of the album. And I think it's a great song. And actually, guitar player, this is the back of the CD here. Steve Rowe is, writes the majority of the material, but if I'm not mistaken, it was bass player Lincoln Bowen. Yeah, bass player Lincoln Bowen, who is right here, wrote the song Extrinsic Forces. Just a pure thrasher, almost to the point of death metal. You know, with Steve Rowe kind of has his gravelly thrash voice more than a growl on this album. But yeah, Mortification, Realm of the Skeletor, well worth picking up if you can get it on CD. It's never released on vinyl. With the release of that Metallica No Life Till Leather demo, I grabbed out Metallica Kill 'Em All and jammed it in my car a couple times. You know, I've been listening to a lot of new music in my car and in my home. Decided it was time to go back and just start listening to some stuff I wanted to hear that I haven't heard in a long time. And this one kind of called out to me, so I grabbed it. Love this album. I mean, I'm not a huge Metallica fan, at least not as big as I used to be back in the 80s. I just, don't think the direction they chose was all that great, but I still love these early albums. And there's such a raw, youthful energy to this album. Nothing else really sounds like it. A lot of bands tried to sound like this, but they didn't really capture it. It's I don't know. It's like Diamond Head on speed, with just a raw, youthful edge. Classic album from Metallica. Everybody's heard this album, so I don't have to go into much detail about it. But Fight War of Words, not Worlds. The first album from Rob Halford after leaving Judas Priest the first time, the only time he left Judas Priest. Just a great, heavy riffs. I was talking to a guitar player friend of mine who hates this album. He basically says that the album is too simplistic, sounds like, elementary guitar playing, a new guitar player wrote all these riffs. I don't know, man. you know, maybe a new guitar player did write all those riffs, but there's just something driving about it. You know, it's simple. It's music doesn't have to be complex to be enjoyable. You know, it can just be simple and just get you pumping. And that's exactly what I hear on this album. This one will probably get me a copyright strike, but what are you gonna do? Talking about music, you gotta be able to play some of it, right? I mean, that's just driving, man. You just want to pump your fist and step on the gas pedal and move. So there you go. Little fights, war of words. And it's just, this whole album is just, every song on here just has that same. Get you want to play a little air guitar on your steering wheel and headbang while you're driving around. Looking like a friggin' idiot. But enjoying every minute of it. Anyhow, Fight, War Words, I don't know, I really like this album. I have the remastered box set of this as well. Classic stuff. Alright, moving on. This video is getting a little long. I try to keep these What's Spinning short, but Loudness, Devil Soldier. This was the second album from Japanese heavy metal band Loudness. This is one of those little mini album covers, and it has a little, you know, mini OBI slip and the cover and the Japanese insert and a little slip case. And then it, of course, it comes looking like a, you know, like a little record. Just great Judas Priest inspired heavy metal. On this particular album, I hear some other 70s influences too. Depending on the song, there's a little bit of, I can hear a little bit of old Scorpions. Akira is just a shredder on here. Great guitar playing. Lyrics are mostly in Japanese. A few English words here and there. They hadn't really, you know, started doing the English language yet. I think it wasn't until Disillusion or so that they started really doing English lyrics. But there are some. Still a classic album, great riffs, and yeah, Loudness. And next up, the latest from Saint. This is Broad is the Road, Broad is the Gate, sorry. And this is a brand new release from them. And new vocalist. Vocalist Josh Kramer is no longer in Saint, and they have a new vocalist here, and he sounds nothing like Josh Kramer. His name, Brian Phil Miller. Musically, it sounds like classic Saint. You know, it kind of has that straightforward, traditional heavy metal sound coming out of the 80s. And vocals are very different, though. I mean, it still sounds like Saint, but, you know, without Josh Kramer, it doesn't sound quite the same. It doesn't sound quite like Saint, you know? It would be like, I don't know, like Aerosmith without Steven Tyler, or Led Zeppelin without Robert Plant. You know, it's just, even if it's the same rest of the band, which this is not, it's still a little different. But that doesn't mean it's not good. It's a very good album, straightforward, headbanging heavy metal. Quite liked it, especially the last song, Metal Cross, which is actually an instrumental. Great heavy metal song. The whole thing is rather good. I don't know if you can tell, but it's getting a little darker in here. There's a big old storm cloud coming, so I'm gonna have to hurry up because this was a nice sunny day, but it's starting to get a little, looks like it's gonna get stormy out. So we're almost to the bottom of the barrel here. Last album actually that I have in my stack here, Exodus, Temple of the Damned. Went to see Exodus not too long ago with VC member Eric Dust, EJD 715, and they played a few songs off this one, including one of my favorite songs and the songs that open up this video, Blacklist. The song you saw my grandson banging his head to and having a good time to. This was the reunion album for Exodus with Zetro on vocals, Steve Zosa, and frankly I think it's a great album. Don't of course agree with all the lyrics. The song Shroud of Urine, I tend to skip. That song irritates me, but otherwise I love the rest of the album. Seal with a Fist, Throwing Down, Impaler, you know, the first time it was officially recorded outside of a demo. Great version of that. Scar Spangled Banner, War is My Shepherd, and like I said, Blacklist, which I think is one of their best songs. And they played that live at the last show that I saw them at when they were opening up for Testament. And frankly, as much as I thought Testament were great, Exodus blew him off the stage. I'm sure Eric Dust will agree with me. Anyhow, that's it for this edition of What's Spinning. You know, if you haven't heard of any of these bands, check them out. If you have, if you agree with my opinion, disagree, especially on that Hailstorm, I'm kind of curious what other Hailstorm fans think. Let me know. So that's it for this edition of What's Spinning. God bless. Stay strong.